Welcome to LabTech Software, Concepts and Fundamentals for Onboarding, Module 5, Tickets, Backup, Restoration, and Agent Removal. This is Module 5 of the 5-part series for onboarding training. Module 5 includes the following topics: Ticket Overview, Ticket Workflow, Antivirus Deployment, Backup and Restoration, Removing an old agent, and uninstallation instructions. Welcome to LabTech Ticket Overview Training. LabTech tickets provide a way of tracking things that need to be worked on. They can be submitted either by a monitor, by an end user who submits the ticket from their tray icon, by an end user who logs into the LabTech web, as well as by a technician themselves who manually creates the ticket. Let's take a look at the ticketing module now. Here in the Control Center, left-click on Tickets in the toolbar. Notice how the default landing page is the My Tickets view. We have other views here, such as New Tickets, which are tickets that have not yet been opened. Open Tickets, which is exactly that, tickets that have been marked as open by a technician who is working them. We have Stalled Tickets, on which a timer has been started, but a technician has stalled it to work on it at a later time. Additional views include Completed Tickets, All Tickets, Projects, and we also have a link to see tickets that are published as info-based articles. Additionally, across the top of the Ticketing Center window, we have a refresh button to refresh the current view, and a Create Ticket button that we can use to manually create a ticket right here within the Control Center. Let's click on the Create Ticket button now to go through the steps of creating a new ticket. We will enter a subject line here. We also need to specify a client or all clients, and we have to enter some ticket request information. We can save this ticket and close it. That ticket will now show up on our New Tickets view. And here it is. This ticket is now ready to be worked by the technician that it gets assigned to, and that will be covered in our Ticket Workflow How-To video. This concludes LabTech Ticket Overview Training. Welcome to LabTech Ticket Workflow Training. In this lesson, we will take a ticket through its complete life cycle, from being created, assigned to a technician, and worked to completion. Here in the Control Center, left-click on the Tickets button in the toolbar. The default landing page will be the My Tickets view, making it easy for any technician who goes into the Tickets window to see and manage their own ticket queue. The New Tickets view contains any new tickets that have come in that have not yet been assigned to a specific technician. We can assign a ticket to a technician by right-clicking on the ticket, going to Tickets Assign. Alternatively, we can double-click on the ticket, and to assign the ticket, we will first need to open it. We click on the Open button to indicate that the ticket has been opened by a technician. Now we're ready to assign it. Click on the drop-down arrow, assign it to the specific LabTech technician that will be working it, and confirm, left-click Yes, and close. When we refresh, after the ticket has been assigned to a different technician, I can go back to the My Tickets view and see how that ticket has left the My Tickets view, as it is no longer one of my tickets. Let's go back and take a ticket through the steps of completion. Double-click on the ticket to begin working on it, as if you're a technician working on this ticket. We have a couple of options here. We can choose to respond to a ticket. This is going to generate a message that will go to the end user via email. and we click Send. We can also add a comment by left-clicking on the Comment button. Comments added to the ticket are not viewable by the end user, but it can be thought of as a repository for a technician to keep a running dialogue of progress as they are working this ticket. In LabTech, technicians can enter time against tickets they are working on. Left-click on the Start Timer button in the toolbar and notice how that becomes a Finish Timer button. When I click on Finish Timer, here I can enter a note, as well as specifying how much time I have worked on this ticket. If I like, I can put a check mark in the box to send the response with this time entry to the end user. I can also finish the ticket from here. I will simply click on Save to save my time entry. The Other Items button provides advanced functions for ticketing. Please refer to our how-to video on advanced ticketing for more information. The Stall button allows a technician to stop time on the ticket until such time as they are able to resume working on that ticket, at which time the timers will pick back up. After this ticket has been finished, by clicking on Finish here, we can enter a note that will be sent to the end user. And close the ticket. This ticket will now have been moved to the Completed Tickets view. This completes the ticket workflow. This concludes LabTech Ticket Workflow Training.
Welcome to LabTech Software Antivirus Deployment Training. In this lesson, we will look at how to configure the client for antivirus installation, as well as how to run scripts to deploy the antivirus to your agents. Here in the Control Center, we will left-click to expand clients, and then double-click on a client. Left-click on the Info tab, and scroll down to the bottom to get to the Virus Config settings. We will go through populating these fields to emulate configuring antivirus. Start by putting in the date when the antivirus license expires, as well as a license key. The password is going to be the password for the account associated with your antivirus. Here we're putting in the server address for the AV server. Notice we need the fully qualified domain name to access your antivirus server. And here's where we put in the username associated with the antivirus account. After this information has been populated in the virus config settings, we need to scroll back up to the top of the Info tab and click on Save Additional Information. And now we're ready to close this client. After populating the information on the client, there are a few different ways to run the script to install it. We can start by right-clicking on that client and choosing Scripts, Antivirus. We can use an example of AVG and choose to install. For example, we have the AVG 2011 version or AVG 9.0. We can also find the script in our script tree. Additionally, we can run the script at the group level. Let's say we wanted to run this script to install antivirus for our gold group. So we will take the client that we just populated antivirus information on and drag them to the gold group. Notice how they are now showing underneath the gold group, and we can double click on the gold group to get to the Scripts tab. Here on the Scripts tab, we're going to click on the drop down, and you can see once again In our AVG antivirus install listings, we have the same 2011 or 9.0 install scripts. We can select the one we want to install and tell it when we want to run. In this case, we populated the antivirus information for our client and dragged that client to the group. If we drag other clients to this group and they don't have antivirus information populated on them, they simply won't get the antivirus installed. This concludes LabTech Software Antivirus Deployment Training.
Welcome to LabTech Antivirus, Backup, and Restore Training. LabTech has the ability to monitor antivirus virus definitions, as well as to perform scans and cleaning of viruses. Here in the Control Center, left-click on Dashboard. Left-click on the Config tab. Left-click on Configurations. Here we have a Virus Scan tab. Left-click to access that. On this screen, we have listed all of the different antivirus platforms that LabTech currently supports. We have the definition location information as well as the definition file name when applicable. We have the program location, a command that can be run to update them, as well as a command for a scan template. These definitions are updated periodically, automatically by LabTech. And you can also manually update the commands for the definitions, or the update command or the scan template, and save those changes if you like. You also have the ability to right-click on one of these and delete it. Within LabTech, here in the Control Center, we can left-click to expand clients, left-click to expand a client, left-click to expand a location, and if you right-click on a machine, we can go to Commands, System Tools. Here we can update the virus definitions or run a full virus scan. What that's going to do is to detect if the machine in question has one of the known virus scan engines installed. If the machine has one of these virus softwares installed, we will be using these commands to attempt to update it, and if we have a scan template value populated for that software, we will also be able to initiate a scan. LabTech Backups. This pertains to how to back up the LabTech server. One way to back up the LabTech server would be to stop all of the LabTech services here in your Windows Services plugin. You can identify all the LabTech services by name and stop them all. Once the services have been stopped, in Windows Explorer, you will browse to the Program Files directory, or as in the case of my server, a 64-bit server, Program Files x86. And you will back up the entire LabTech directory. With the services stopped, you'll be able to simply make a copy of this server, and for backup purposes, you will likely choose to move that copy of this directory to a file server or perhaps a SAN. Another method that can be used for LabTech backups is if you have simple file backups being run on the LabTech server on a scheduled basis. In that Program Files x86 LabTech backup directory, we have files with LabTech in the name, a numerical indicator, and a .bz extension. These files are always being generated. They get updated once a day. And if you have automatic file level backups going on for the LabTech server, you would be able to contact LabTech support to have them walk you through restoring these .bz files. In the scenario I discussed previously, if you have a backup of the entire LabTech directory, the restore steps would be to reinstall LabTech on your server. Once again, stop the LabTech services, copy in your backed up version of the LabTech directory, overriding the freshly installed one, and then restart these services, and you have a fresh LabTech restore. This concludes LabTech Antivirus, Backup, and Restore training. Welcome to the LabTech training how-to video about how to remove the old agent. There are a couple of ways to remove the LabTech agent from a machine. If that machine is still being managed by LabTech, the easiest way to remove it is to do so within the control center, and we'll look at that method now. In the navigation tree, left-click to expand clients, left-click to expand a client, left-click to expand a location. Find the agent you want to remove and right-click on it. Go to Commands, LabTech, and left-click on Uninstall LabTech. If this is a machine that is no longer reporting into LabTech, but you still need to remove the agent from it, you will need to browse to your LabTech Web Control Center and download the agent remover. Here is my Web Control Center page, and I will log in with my LabTech user credentials. See here we have the agent remover and uninstaller, and even instructions right on the page that it needs to be downloaded locally and run on the machine you want to remove the agent from. That will remove the services, the LabTech tray icon, as well as the directory structure in which the LabTech agent resides on that target machine. This concludes the LabTech how-to video. This concludes the LabTech training how-to video about how to remove the old agent.
LabTech software. Uninstall instructions. Uninstall requirements. Step 1. Remove LabTech Control Center. Step 2. Uninstall program files. Left-click on the Start icon in the lower left. Left-click the Windows logo button. Left-click Control Panel. Left-click Programs and Features. Select LabTech 2011 from the program list. Left-click Uninstall to begin the uninstall process. Left-click Yes to uninstall the Control Center. Progression of the Control Center uninstall. Left-click Cancel to stop the uninstall. Step 1 of 2 is complete for uninstall of LabTech software. Right-click on the Start button in the lower left. Left-click on Open Windows Explorer. Navigate to the Setup folder in LabTech Program Files, which can be found in Program Files, LabTech Setup. Double-click Server Uninstall. Left-click Yes to confirm the uninstall of LabTech Server. Left-click No to continue uninstalling. Left-click Yes to abort the uninstall process. Uninstallation progress. Select Yes to remove everything, including the data files for the LabTech server uninstall. Left-click OK. The LabTech server has been uninstalled. Navigate to Windows Explorer. Confirm that the LabTech directory no longer exists. Step 2 of 2 is complete for uninstall of LabTech software. This concludes uninstalling LabTech software from your server. This concludes Module 5 in the Onboarding Series training.